Today's episode is coming to you thanks in part to Bike Pittsburgh and their Open Streets PGH events. And big news, the next Open Streets is running through Lawrenceville and the Strip District on Sunday, July 27th. This 3.5-mile car-free route takes you from 13th and Smallman all the way past Allegheny Cemetery. And when the roads are made car-free, this new sense of community connection happens. There is so much to do along this stretch, and you can join thousands of people who are going to be biking, walking, and rolling through the route and supporting local businesses along the way. See the route at openstreetspgh.org and follow at openstreetspgh.
CityCast Pittsburgh is supported today by the Heinz History Center and their newest exhibition, Pittsburgh's Hidden History. It is a cornucopia of curiosity, a magical menagerie of memory, and a little bit of this and that. There are flowery couches, relics from Kennywood, even a collection of shivs. If you listen to this show a lot, you know we are loving this. It is truly mind-boggling to see how the curators brought together such a wide range of rarely seen artifacts to tell Pittsburgh stories like never before. To buy your tickets and learn more, visit HeinzHistoryCenter.org.
Today on CityCast Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's got its fair share of quirks and unwritten rules, like why are drivers turning left instead of yielding at a green light? And what's up with that rickety old chair by the sidewalk in front of your neighbor's house? The whole CityCast team is joining host Megan Harris, and we're talking through all the rules you need to know to survive and thrive here in the city. It's Wednesday, July 9th. I'm Sophia Lowe, and here's what Pittsburgh's talking about.
I'm here with the whole CityCast Pittsburgh team, executive producer Mallory Falk.
Hello.
Producer Sophia Lowe.
Hey, Megan.
And newsletter editor Francesca DeBecco.
Hi, everybody.
So here at CityCast Pittsburgh, we do all kinds of things. What you need to know, what's good to eat.
Oh, absolutely. I love talking about what's good to eat, as well as
Yes.
cool history tidbits, nostalgia, lots and lots of events and tips for the ways to experience the city.
Yeah, so today we're going to touch on what you need to know to live here in Pittsburgh. Our episode is all about the essential things you've got to have down to really thrive here.
And maybe not annoy your neighbors. I don't know.
Definitely. And we have a good mix on our team here. You know, I'm born and raised Pittsburgh. I've never left.
Francesca's our lifer. Mallory's our boomerang.
Yep, I did the thing, left for school, was gone a long time, and then found myself back here.
Sophia is brand new to town.
2 years in.
Yeah,
so,
2 years.
Brand new for Pittsburgh.
For Pittsburgh, yes.
Pittsburgh, you can be here 50 years and you're still a newcomer.
Honestly. And then I've been here for 12 years, but I've now married a local and made one. So I like to call myself a Pittsburgher.
You are officially adopted, Megan. You are a Pittsburgher. So first up, your first essential rule is knowing your neighborhoods. We've got 90 official neighborhoods, each with their own character. And, geography really plays a role in this, creating those distinct pockets.
Lots of hills and rivers, yeah.
Definitely. But even within those 90 neighborhoods, there's unofficial ones, like the 4 Mile Run in Greenfield or Mexican War Streets in the central north side. And then there's Regent Square, which I think people think is a little bit bigger than it actually is. This neighborhood, it intersects where different communities meet. So Wilkinsburg, Edgewood, and Swissville all come together in the Regent Square area.
Until we were prepping for this episode, I actually had no idea that the Mexican War Streets was not considered an official neighborhood.
Nope.
This is I didn't realize that there were these places that are just really commonly known aren't on the official list.
Yeah.
I mean, Mexican War Streets has so many flags that say Mexican War Streets when you're walking around. I feel like that one is easy to think it's official.
And that's why you should know them.
Well, and I think that's why the vigilante ones are also important to know, like the war streets. The north side, I think, is in particularly good at doing this. Like where one part of town will declare that they are now, in fact, a part of a different neighborhood. I'm looking at Perry South mostly for this one because they put up that beautiful mosaic mural declaring themselves Perry Hilltop, but you are actually Perry South.
Well, and all the reporting I always see on the neighborhood says, Perry South, also known as Perry Hilltop. So it's kind of like unofficially official that it's got both names.
And then Perry North, which is Observatory Hill. It's, multiple names. It's really good to familiarize yourself with these.
And one really great way to do that is with our very own neighborhood guides. Francesca puts these in the newsletter. Before I joined the team, I actually really relied on these guides to sort of get to know Pittsburgh. I was like so excited the first time I recognized like a mural in my own neighborhood. I was like, yes, I've got it.
I also think they're helpful if you've lived here your whole life, because I think Pittsburghers can be a little like insular and stick to their own neighborhoods and see things like a giant hill or a bridge as a barrier to getting out and exploring. So for me personally, like I've grown up here, but your neighborhood guides have really encouraged me to get out and spend time in some of those spots I haven't spent a lot of time.
Well, and they also encourage all of us to like think deeply about a neighborhood anytime we visit one, because we're like, oh, this would be good for a guide. We got to send it to Francesca.
Oh, well, I really appreciate that. I work really hard in them, and I'm just a big believer in being a tourist in your own town. And so I hope you find, joy through that and get to know our neighborhoods.
And if you have one that we have not hit yet, or we missed your favorite gem in your neighborhood that we have been to, you can always hit us up. We're Pittsburgh@citycast.fm.
So the second rule.
Respect the parking chair. Sophia, I'm curious if you had ever heard of this before you came here.
Yeah, I was familiar with a parking chair because they're like pretty big in Chicago.
That's
too.
right.
Yeah.
Like
the Midwest
the other city
does a parking chair well.
Yeah. But I think Pittsburgh like reps it a lot harder than Chicago does.
Yeah. Does Chicago have parking chair merch?
Yeah, I have parking chair stickers and stuff. I don't think this was as big in Chicago.
It's our identity.
And in case you are new here and you're wondering what the heck this is, maybe you've noticed a chair just like sitting next to the sidewalk in the street. The way that you can reserve your parking space here in Pittsburgh is to put a chair down on that spot, and everyone kind of observes, like, if there is a chair there, I am not going to parallel park here. Someone else has laid claim to this.
Most people do.
Yeah. I mean, I also think it depends on the season. Like in the middle of summer on a busy weekend, like say there's a festival in Lawrenceville. I'm sorry, that is not the best way. The parking chair.
I should say, when I say everyone respects it, that's like the idea behind it. But that's not how it plays out in reality.
But if you dug yourself out of the snow.
If you shoveled your own snow and put your chair out, yes, that is sacred. Nobody should disturb that ever.
Yep. And it doesn't have to be a chair either. It can be a variety of things.
Traffic cones, little tables. I've seen toys, like just big towers that are like from like discount stores.
I really love seeing like a variety of chairs too. Like it could be a fold out chair or like your literal dining room chair, which I don't know why you would put grandma's chair out there.
Well, it's also risky. If you see, sometimes I see these like beautiful antique chairs out there and I'm like, but someone's going to think this is like a curb sale and just nab it. And then you're going to lose a family heirloom.
Not in Pittsburgh. I feel like everybody knows like to at least pause and try to check.
If it's on the sidewalk, it's up for grabs. If it's in the parking spot, that's your parking chair.
I feel like people are also pretty good when there's furniture to put out like a sign that says free on it too.
That's true.
I'll move on to our third rule, one of my favorites. Get and use a library card. Our library system is incredible. I got mine literally the same week I moved here.
Very smart.
Yep.
And, since we have these branches.
A ton of library branches here in the city and the region.
Yeah, the whole county, so many. There's a really good opportunity for interlibrary loans. Like basically any book I've wanted, been in the system, been able to get it.
One time I have stumped them. The audiobooks too, though, they do a great job of sourcing. Some you have to wait for. Some are like those that you can click into and listen to right away.
Yeah. And I mean, this is a good point that there's just so many branches, because you might think get a library card, like duh, do that any new place you move. But there's just a real world of possibilities here, including not just books. There are all kinds of incredible things you can get with a library card. My favorite to reference is always this library in Whitehall that has an incredible collection of different like shapes of baking pans. So any kind of themed birthday cake you might want to make, you can get like a Dora the Explorer themed pan and check that out from that library.
Yeah, and tools, and you can look into their like ancestry services. So there's a lot that you can get.
Yeah,
with
they
a
can help you
library card.
digitize like old family videos and things like that.
Yep. So check our website. We have a whole list of these at pittsburgh.citycast.fm. We really have a rich literary scene here, like period. So besides our libraries, definitely check out our indie bookstores. There's White Whale, City of Asylum, Stories Like Me. We could go on and on. Again, another thing up on our website. So, go find yourself a book.
Next up, a rule for our drivers. Don't honk in the tunnels. I'm going to be honest, this one does not offend me personally. I think sometimes you do need to let someone know that they're being a jagoff, and a tunnel is just another opportunity for that. But I recognize that I am in the minority.
Just like all the echoes that come from a honk in the tunnel, it's too disorienting.
I don't know. I kind of love it. It like makes me feel alive.
So Megan's going at night, running through the tunnels and honking.
I've never honked in a tunnel, but I reserve the right to potentially do it someday.
Well, I think this kind of comes from like there's other cities that do it for like good luck almost. Like it's like a tradition for them to honk
in a
tunnels.
tunnel?
Yeah, like there's other cities that do that. Not here, but I think that maybe that's like kind of why there's the rule, is because other places they do it on purpose. I don't know. But yeah, it's good to not have that noise pollution for sure.
Well, and I mean, of course, as we're talking about different traffic rules you need to know, obviously the Pittsburgh left is very important to understand. So this is when the light turns green, the driver who has the right of way can like pause for a minute and let someone making a left turn like go ahead and make that left turn first. There's a lot of debate about whether you give or take a Pittsburgh left. Like sometimes I'm not even trying to give it, but someone just goes ahead and takes their left and I gotta stop for them.
I think it's the perfect litmus test, like personality test for people in Pittsburgh. Do you make it or do you take it?
And this one's definitely very important for newbies because, I grew up here, like we said. I brought my partner here who is from New Mexico, very different set of driving rules there. And I remember he came home after we'd been living here a few weeks, like, I have gotten into so many near collisions. I don't understand what is happening on the road. Why are people jumping these traffic lights? And I realized I had not briefed him on this very important essential rule.
Well, if you want to know more about driving in Pittsburgh, we also did an essential rules to driving here. So more about the Pittsburgh left and all kinds of stuff. This was actually with my partner, Jacob. I don't drive. He does a lot of it, driving me around. He also does rideshare on the side. So lots of tips there.
Yes. And rule number 5, you gotta prepare for our weather. Gray all day. We are ranked the 4th gloomiest city in the U.S. as of 2023. I can't imagine that's changed much. But we had 203 cloudy days per that year. That's so bleak, guys.
It is funny. I have a 15-month-old and, now I've been teaching her colors and I feel like I'm gaslighting her whenever I'm like, sky, blue, look at the blue sky, because it's never actually blue.
Same, Mallory, my toddler, like keeps squinting into the sun and just being like, that was sad. And
oh, man. I've seen stats of up to 306 cloudy days a year, which just feels wrong. Like, I know we're cloudy, but like more than 300?
I think more than 200 is probably our average, but I bet there have been years where we've had more than 300. That seems right.
And I don't remember the exact science behind it, but I know it's something to do with kind of our topography that plays into how cloudy we are.
All of that to say, it's really important if you or someone you love is coming from a very sunny city or a very sunny state, you might need to take some vitamin D supplements.
Oh, not might. Do it. Like, I depend on it. It gets me through seasonal depression for sure.
I mean, we are not medical experts, so definitely check with your doctor. But you could also consider a light therapy lamp. I was briefly team tanning bed, but I have seen the error of my ways. I know I came from the South. Look, I learned.
And if you don't have a light therapy lamp and you want to give it a try before you invest, that is something you can get with that library card through, the Library of Things. So another incentive for you to get that card.
There you go.
This episode is brought to you by Visibility, an organization helping people who are blind or visually impaired explore all that's possible in their lives. Vision loss doesn't mean you have to sacrifice your independence or stop doing what you love. You just need to do it differently, and that's where Visibility comes in. They take a comprehensive approach to vision care. So they do vision screenings for kids and adults, but also provide transportation assistance, at-home occupational therapy, even employment support. Visibility says they take a personalized and holistic approach so their clients can maintain their lifestyles and keep pursuing their passions. Visit visibility.org or follow them on social media to learn how Visibility can assist you, your loved ones, and your friends.
This episode is supported by Crossover Coliseum. And if you're thinking gladiator fights, naval battles, mythical monsters, you are very much on the right track. Crossover Coliseum is a live gladiator-themed game show, and it's basically a combination of Gladiator, Minute to Win It, and Dungeons & Dragons. Local Pittsburghers will face wild challenges for charity, and you get to vote on the outcome. Besides enjoying the live performance, you also get to test your skill and luck in mini-games, plus sip on some signature cocktails. All of this takes place on Thursday, July 17th at the Oaks Theater in Oakmont. Buy your tickets today on Eventbrite, and you can get a 25% discount with the code DIECAST. That's DIECAST. Learn more at crossovergames.org and make your boring nights history.
Today's show is brought to you by the Frick Pittsburgh Museums and Gardens and their limited-run special preservation tours of Clayton. That's the historic home of Henry Clay Frick. I actually got to take one of these tours recently, and it was fascinating. You learn all about the restoration work that happened back in the 80s as a team transformed Clayton from a family home into a museum. And some of the details are wild. Like, they found the records for the silk drapes that used to hang in Mrs. Frick's bedroom, and were able to get them remade by the same Paris company on the exact same loom as the originals. You also get to learn all about the major exterior preservation project that's happening at Clayton right now. You'll learn why it's so important, how it'll help ensure Clayton isn't ruined by water damage, and how they're doing it, like steaming and scraping all these layers of paint off the bricks so they can find and then match the original color. The Frick's limited-run special preservation tours of Clayton run Fridays and Saturdays at 10:45 a.m. and 12:45 p.m. And they're part of a fundraising campaign that's focused on the care and conservation of Clayton for generations to come. So the ticket price is a donation, and it's fully tax-deductible. Get tour tickets and learn more at thefrickpittsburgh.org.
Our next essential rule for living in Pittsburgh, number 6, protect our parks and rivers.
Yeah, we have a lot of really great city and county parks. We drop all sorts of fun-looking events that our park run in our Hey Pittsburgh newsletter all the time.
Oh, yeah. There are like full moon hikes, mushroom gathering, bird watching. There's so much fun stuff to do in our parks.
But we do need to really take care of these spaces too. So most important, if you ever do anything in outdoor spaces, you have seen this before, leave no trace, AKA clean up after yourself. Do not litter. And if you see something and you can like safely and reasonably dispose of it, then pick it up and like take care of it yourself.
Yep. And if you want to go even further, you can get involved with like official cleanups and different ways to beautify our outdoor spaces. You can plant trees with Tree Pittsburgh, clean our waterways with Three Rivers Waterkeeper. You can pick up litter with Allegheny Cleanways, learn how to divert waste from landfills with the Pennsylvania Resources Council, or build community gardens with Grow Pittsburgh. There's so much you can do to get out there.
Groups, yeah.
Yeah, a special shout out too to the Explorers Club of Pittsburgh. They do all kinds of like outdoor programming, but one of my favorite events is every spring when they rappel off of Mount Washington.
Oh, yeah.
To pick up all the trash that people dump down the hillside. It is a blast to watch, and you can also help even if you aren't a climber or don't have any of that mountaineering experience.
Okay, I love this idea in theory, but I feel like I would really need to focus all of my attention on the actual act of rappelling. Trying to like multitask at the same time sounds scary.
Oh no, these people really dig it. It's a lot of rope work. They love it. But if you are not doing that, you can stay up at the top and just help like catalog everything and dispose of it properly.
Okay, that's more my speed.
Okay, that is new to me. I am very excited to see it next time it comes up.
Okay, so on to the next rule. Learn some Pittsburghese, not necessarily to say it yourself. Like, I actually grew up with a grandma who spoke perfect Pittsburghese, and I have not, like, there's something about it I'm not able to replicate, and I don't try because I don't want to embarrass myself. But it is good to know, like, some of the Pittsburgh words you're going to hear out and about because we do have our own dialect.
Yeah, I definitely grew up in a Pittsburgh house. In my later years, have reclaimed yins. I think growing up, like going to school, a lot of my classmates didn't talk like how my parents did at home. And so I kind of filtered it. But now as an adult, I'm like, that's the coolest gender neutral pronoun. I love that.
Yeah.
And I do still say things a lot, like Pittsburghese things, like, and I've taught it to my partner who's not from here. So on the weekends or whenever we're renting up the house and
Gandantan.
I don't know if it sounds quite like that.
Well, that's you heard why I don't use it.
We're getting ready to plant our spring flowers. So, there's some things that I just can't avoid. And when I'm around my parents, it definitely comes out.
I mean, my favorite one that I think I adopted, gosh, honestly, probably within at least a few months of living here is dropping to be verbs. It's just, I hated it at first. The grammarian in my heart was like so offended by it. But then I realized the efficiency to not needing to add a be verb is so great. Like Jens' car need washed. Like it's just so much more fun.
I really love the word nebby.
Yes.
Because I love gossip, and I feel like nebby softens it a little bit. Like it maybe gives it like a little more personality, nebby neighbor, that kind of thing.
It's something that's
being a neb nose.
Yeah, being nebby is like a type of a Pittsburgh archetype to aspire to, as opposed to something you need to like keep in check.
I mean, I think we all personally identify with that too on this team. Like we all have matching mugs that say Nebby from Love Pittsburgh. And we all put it in our profiles too. We are professionally Nebby.
We sure are. Yes, we really claim it. And another defining trait for Pittsburghers is being really proud of the city and its history.
Yeah, I used to call it civic arrogance. And when I say that, I mean it as a genuine compliment. Like in other cities, not every city, but a lot of other cities, and certainly a lot I've lived in, like people are kind of down on the city. Like they're proud to be from there, but it's always with a caveat or they'll dog on it among their friends. Pittsburghers don't do that. Like by and large as a culture, like they are very, very proud to be from Pittsburgh, and screw you if you're not.
I love that. I love that evaluation as someone who hasn't lived somewhere else. That's really cool to know.
There's also a lot to be proud of here. Like we have been a hotspot for a lot of really cool inventions.
That's true. We have a lot of historical stories in our archives on our website, like the first emergency medicine service, which was developed by Black men in the Hill District called the Freedom House Ambulance. I was really excited, guys, when I watched The Pit. They actually gave a call out to Freedom House. So I love that.
Yeah, actually, just to pick on the medical first here, like development of the polio vaccine and like all the first mass inoculations, the first successful liver transplant.
Yep.
Like we really did revolutionize all these pockets of medical history. And it's really, really cool how it's touched the whole world. By the way, you can check a ton of this out and more at the Heinz History Center. They have a whole exhibit on our sense of innovation. It really is one of my favorites.
Yeah, and that History Center keeps winning awards. So I guess Pittsburghers love it. People outside of Pittsburgh love it.
Yeah, don't just take our word for it.
Absolutely. Since we're talking inventions here, I want to bring up a really fun one, the banana split, because, I love a little treat.
Invented in Latrobe, very close to Pittsburgh.
Which I guess that's another Pittsburgh rule is like some Pittsburghers will refuse to acknowledge that places outside of Pittsburgh count.
But, the inventor also went to the University of Pittsburgh. So, Latrobe and Pittsburgh can share the ice cream.
And also Latrobe is the home of Mr. Rogers. So,
What's more Pittsburgh than that?
Yep. Western Pennsylvania love all around.
And since we're all shouting out inventions or firsts, one of the ones I love is that Pittsburgh had the very first commercial radio station in the U.S. So shout out to KDKA, which went on the air in 1920. And I feel like that just kind of was the beginning of our really important place in broadcast history, with things like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood as well.
And of course, we have all of that steelworker history. You can find a ton more on that on our website.
So our next rule, number 9, is about sports because, like it or not, we are a sports city. Even if you are not an avid fan of any of our professional teams, it is helpful to have at least a passing knowledge of our teams just so you can chime in when your friends or family or random people talk to you about it.
Oh, I don't know things about the teams. When people start talking to me about sports, I just tell them like which days to get the free merch. 'Cause we do a lot of giveaways.
That is an important piece of knowledge.
When firework days are. Yeah.
The concerts, other things. There's a lot of fun things that like go around our big teams, the Pirates, the Penguins, and the Steelers. I mean, one of my favorite fun facts just about the city, kind of writ large, is that we are the only city in the country where our city colors, the black and gold, are also all the colors of our sports teams. Like all of us share that. And that's really, really fun.
I'll take it one step further. It was also my high school's colors. So I only needed black and gold.
You were set.
You just need one outfit to go to any sports game.
Yep.
And people take that very seriously. You will see a Penguins jersey at a Steelers game. You will see Steelers stuff in Pirates games. Like as long as you're repping the black and gold, nobody cares what team is on your back.
Yep.
This actually was a thing my partner really noticed and pointed out when he moved here was he was like, I'll meet people who are like, I can't hang out on Sunday. It's the Steelers game. And they don't strike you as sports people. They were people I never would have profiled as like organizing their week around the Steelers game. But it's just such a huge part of the city that even people who, if they were anywhere else, like wouldn't tune in at all, it's critical to them. I can't say it's critical to me, but I still try to have enough knowledge to be able to converse with my fellow citizens, my fellow Pittsburghers.
You know what is critical, though? The snack table. And everyone is there for the snacks.
And that's kind of the ethos that we tried to bring to this show, too. We want to give you the need to knows, like the weird stuff, just so you can like remain conversational among the greater Pittsburgh area.
Totally. And the most important thing I learned from you, Megan, is you do need to pay attention to when the Steelers are playing because, Mallory, even if you aren't super into watching the game, the grocery stores are going to be so empty. So you can really peruse.
My favorite hack, don't tell it to everyone.
And we'll keep our final rule super short, super simple. As Mr. Rogers once said, be a good neighbor.
Yeah. Or put another way, don't be a jagoff.
That's all for today here on CityCast Pittsburgh. And don't forget to check out our website. That's pittsburgh.citycast.fm. There is so much more to help you make the most of your time in the city. Plus, don't forget to subscribe to our Hey Pittsburgh newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Talk to you then.
I grew up swimming in the Allegheny River. That's gross.